Hi, sweet sisters of Echo. My name is Sandra Hunter, and I was asked to share some words of encouragement while we're in this sheltering in place. So I hope this finds you safe and well. The best words of encouragement I think I can share with you is how God has encouraged me during this time. It seems like it's been forever, but this is just a season that we're in. But the one thing that God is really speaking into my heart is that we don't waste these moments. He's given us a time of isolation, and I feel to spend more time with Him. For me, it's been to really have more time to be in His Word. My prayer life has been expanded because I have more time to talk to Him. And I've had time to really look at my life and reevaluate my priorities and make some changes. And that is my takeaway during this time, is that not only is this time different for all of us and anyone that we know, everyone is going through this same thing, but it's different. And life will be different even when we're through this season. And so maybe we should be too. And that is my prayer, is that we become changed, but we change in a good way. So I'm sitting in my office, and I happen to work for a church, and we're not so far removed from Holy Week and Easter that I have to reflect back on it, because it was, I kind of looked at it as I was afraid and nervous and even sad, thinking about how we were going to experience it, being so isolated. So it was different, but I must admit that it was amazing at the same time. Whereas we didn't come into a church building dressed in our Sunday best and hear the pageantry of an orchestra and large choir singing hymns and praising God, we still were able to worship and hear the good word of the Lord. And as I watched every service, beginning with Holy Thursday, it was truly amazing. Not only was I able to participate in those services more intimately than I ever had before, because when you work for a church, you're more focused on what your job is, and so I was able to really focus on the messages and really get into the worship in the music. So that was wonderful. But when I was online and I could see how many other people were participating in all these services, because not only did I get to see my own church's service, I was able to see many services, and not only that, share it. So with technology, this opened up a whole new opportunity, and it made me think this is probably the first time that so many people had the opportunity and the availability to worship God and to hear His good news than ever before. And that was exciting, and it gave me great hope, and it was just amazing. So my prayer is, while we're in this time, that we take these moments and we don't waste them, and we come out of it changed. One quote that I saw at the beginning of the year, I saw this on Instagram, and it's from Bob Goff. He's a Christian writer and speaker, and the quote said this: "God is not looking for a better version of you. He's looking for a better reflection of Himself." And that is my prayer, is that we come out of this being a better reflection of Jesus. I would much rather, when somebody meets me, that they say after I've left them, I don't remember that girl's name, but she sure did love Jesus. I would love it if that's what they would remember. But before I close, I would like to share with you the scripture. And it comes from the best example from a changed life that we know of, and that is the Apostle Paul. And when he writes his letter to the Romans in chapter 12, verses 1 and 2, he says this: "Therefore, I urge you, sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." I love those verses. It's a great reminder that we present ourselves, that we do the good work of Jesus Christ by presenting ourselves and letting God do the work in us and through us. But if you'll indulge me, I'd like to read these same verses from the Message, and it reads this way. "So here's what I want you to do, God helping you. Take your everyday, ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work, and walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for him. Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. Instead, fix your attention on God. You'll be changed from the inside out. Readily recognize what he wants from you and quickly respond to it. Unlike the culture around you, always dragging you down to its level of immaturity, God brings the best out of you, develops well-formed maturity in you." I love the way that reads because it's very true. And when we become so comfortable in our surroundings, we adapt to it and we become so fully immersed in it, and we're so conformed to it that we don't even realize it's happening. But during this time, if you've used it to grow closer to God, you're going to get immersed in his word. You're going to get immersed in his spirit, and we will become better reflections of Jesus Christ. So that is my prayer for all of us, that when we step back into whatever normal is going to be, we're going to have a new normal, and it's going to be changed, and it's going to be different, but hopefully it'll be reflecting him much better. So until we see each other again, be safe, know that you are loved and prayed for, and get ready to get a great big hug from me when we see each other again. I hope it's very soon. But until then, God bless.